LaMelo Ball might be done with Charlotte. Lonzo Ball is finally healthy again, and LiAngelo has been cooking in the studio. But here's the real headline. What if all three Ball brothers ended up on the same NBA team? We're not talking about backyard pickup anymore. We're talking about a real NBA roster. From LaMelo's superstar ceiling to Lonzo's elite court vision.
He'll throw it up, go get it. Ball for Williams, got it. Ball, Levine, back to Zach.
To the halftime performances LiAngelo could bring, this trio could be the most entertaining and polarizing group in the league. Considering how much money they would make for an NBA team, there might actually be a chance it happens. LaMelo Ball is already an NBA star at 23. A former Rookie of the Year and All-Star who averaged around 25 points and assists per game for the Charlotte Hornets. He's the franchise face, known for his flashy passes and deep three-point shots. But 5 years into his career, LaMelo still hasn't even tasted the playoffs and just endured a brutal 19-63 season with Charlotte. His future with the Hornets is, well, murky. Charlotte is rebuilding, and LaMelo's been banged up by ankle and wrist injuries. He missed big chunks of time and even had some season-ending procedures in 2025 to finally get healthy. There's many opinions on the matter. Will he stick it out in the small market that's struggling, or could he seek a move to a contender? Even Lonzo got in on the gossip, half joking that he thinks Melo gone from Charlotte soon.
I low-key got Dylan Harper going to the Hornets, and I got Melo going to the Clips.
Nothing concrete yet, but imagine if that door opened. It could be the first step towards a Ball family reunion in the league. LaMelo's uncertainty has us excited. Will the most talented Ball brother look for a new team, and could it be one that also wants his brothers? Lonzo Ball's story has become one of resilience. Once the Lakers' golden rookie with Magic Johnson comparisons, Lonzo's career took a detour due to a devastating knee injury. He was the glue guy for the Chicago Bulls in 2021. Teammates like Zach LaVine called Lonzo the engine that made everything run, until that knee gave out. What was first thought a minor issue turned into a nightmare. Multiple surgeries, including a radical cartilage transplant, and over 1,000 days between NBA action. Many feared Lonzo might never play again. But guess what? He made it back. In October 2024, Lonzo finally returned to the court after an unprecedented rehab. Playing in his first game in nearly 3 years, he logged 35 games for the Bulls in the 24-25 season, shaking off the rust and proving his passion is still there. Sure, a late season wrist injury sidelined him again, as if the poor guy needed another setback, but he's expected to be ready for the next chapter. Lonzo, at full strength, is a defensive hawk and dime dropper. Remember, this is a 6'6" point guard who used to average 7 assists, 2 steals, and make near 40% of his threes in his prime. If his knees cooperate, he could return to being that do-it-all playmaker. And if we're dreaming of a Ball brother super team, we need Lonzo healthy and throwing those trademark full-court outlets to his siblings. His comeback trail is the emotional heartbeat of this story, the elder brother fighting to rejoin the fun. Every super team has an underdog, and LiAngelo Ball fits the bill. He's the middle brother, but definitely has made a name for himself in his own way. LiAngelo hasn't had the same slam dunk NBA career, but in this speculative super team, he's the X factor. Why? Because on any given night, Jello can get hot and surprise you. He was a scoring machine in high school. As a junior at Chino Hills, he averaged 27.4 points per game. In his senior year, he upped it to 33.8 points, which was tops in California. The dude can flat out shoot. His journey took a detour with that infamous overseas shoplifting incident and leaving UCLA.
3 UCLA men's basketball players placed under house arrest in China, forced to remain in their hotel after they were arrested for shoplifting from a Louis Vuitton store.
But LiAngelo has kept grinding. He's had stints in Lithuania, the G League, and even played for the Hornets Summer League. The consistency and athleticism at the NBA level are question marks. He's a 6'5" swingman who has to prove he can defend and keep up with NBA speed. But imagine him on the floor with his brothers, spotting up for 3 while Lonzo and LaMelo draw the defense. If Jello gets an open look, he might just sink the dagger 3 that brings the house down. And then if all else fails, Jello can just bring the excitement at halftime, performing his hit song Tweaker to a filled-out NBA stadium. To understand the hype, we have to rewind to where the legend began. Chino Hills High School, 2016. The Ball brothers united on one squad, and what they pulled off was straight out of a sports movie. They went 35-0 and won the California state title, finishing as the consensus #1 high school team in the nation. Max Preps even called their championship run perhaps the best brother act in high school basketball history. And boy, did they earn that title. Chino Hills played at a breakneck pace, averaging around 98 points a game in high school. They pressed, stole the ball, and bombed threes from the parking lot until scoreboards looked like video games. Fans were obsessed. Their games were sellouts with people lining up for hours just to catch a glimpse. Why? Because the Ball brothers put on a show. Lonzo was the senior leader, orchestrating everything with jaw-dropping passes. LiAngelo was the junior sniper, hitting deep shots and scoring in bunches. And LaMelo, a 14-year-old freshman, became a viral sensation with his fearless style. I mean, who else pulls up from half court as a 9th grader? The team was a family affair in every sense, with kid brother, middle brother, big brother all in sync, and Papa LeVar Ball holding court in the stands predicting greatness. They even had a future NBA big man, Onyeka Okongwu, swatting shots and catching lobs, making it truly unfair. The climax? They capped that season with a state championship victory. And fittingly, the last minute of the title game featured 3 consecutive alley-oop dunks, one from each brother. Those glory days at Chino Hills are the foundation of the Ball brothers mythology. It's the reason we ask, what if they reunited? Because we've seen what their chemistry can do when all 3 share the court. It was undefeated then, could it be magical now? Now the big question. If by some miracle Lonzo, LaMelo and LiAngelo ended up on the same NBA team, could it actually work? Let's break down the on-court fit. On offense, the idea is intriguing. Lonzo and LaMelo are both tall point guards, and you might worry there's only one ball to go around, but both brothers are unselfish and have decent range. Lonzo evolved into a solid spot-up three-point shooter before his injury, and is comfortable playing off ball when needed. LaMelo, with his unlimited range, can also work as a shooting guard at times. Essentially, you'd have 2 elite passers zooming the ball around. Think of the possibilities for fast breaks and quick ball movement. They'd be throwing lobs to each other and throwing no-look skip passes, a nightmare for defenses in transition. It'd be like basketball jazz, improvisational and lightning fast. LiAngelo's role would be simpler. Stretch the floor and hit open shots. He's likely a catch-and-shoot specialist in a corner or coming off screens. The good news is, defenses would be so worried about the other boys that LiAngelo could get plenty of clean looks. And if he knocks them down at a good clip, he forces opponents to stay glued to him, which opens more driving lanes for his bros. Now, defensively, there'd be challenges. Lonzo, at his peak, is a plus defender. Quick hands, great instincts. LaMelo is still, let's say, improving on defense. He has length, but not the strongest frame. LiAngelo, frankly, would be targeted by opponents until he proves he can hold his own. So this hypothetical Ball team might struggle to get stops, especially against elite NBA wings. If they played a swarming style like Chino Hills days, they could just try to outscore teams in a frenzy though. Chemistry, however, would be their secret weapon. The Balls have been playing together and against each other in the backyard their whole lives. That translates to intuitively knowing where each other will be on the court. Imagine the telepathy on alley-oop plays or backdoor cuts. A wink or a nod might be all it takes. In a league where super teams are usually built on mercenary stars, this one would be built on blood. Would a Ball brother trio actually dominate the NBA and win titles? Probably not in the traditional sense of a super team. This isn't Durant, Steph and Clay, but could they be competitive and insanely fun to watch? Absolutely. They'd essentially be recreating the high-octane Chino Hills style on a pro level. And for at least a few glorious nights, it could click and result in jaw-dropping upsets and SportsCenter highlights for the ages. Even the coaches might throw their playbooks out and just let the brothers cook, because their playmaking creativity is off the charts when they're freestyling together. Beyond wins and losses, let's talk about the marketing bonanza. If the Ball brothers joined forces, it wouldn't just be a basketball team, it'd be a brand. Consider Lonzo's popularity. As a Lakers rookie, his jersey ranked amongst the NBA's top sellers. And LaMelo, despite playing in a small market and even missing time, his #1 Hornets jersey is a constant top 15 seller in the league. Fans just love the flair he brings. Now, imagine slapping the same last name on the back of 3 jerseys on the same team. 1, 2, and 3. Collector's item, anyone? Those jerseys would fly off the shelves in Charlotte, Chicago, LA, everywhere. We're talking record-breaking merchandise sales potential. And we can't forget the family's own creation, Big Baller Brand. The Balls have always been about building their own lane. If they formed a super team, you can bet Triple B would seize the moment. Special edition sneakers, new apparel lines, maybe even a Ball Bros Super Team shoe drop. Remember, they once sold sneakers for $495 a pair. The hype around a reunion could resurrect the Triple B buzz in a big way, hopefully with better shoes this time. It's the kind of story the NBA's marketing department would adore. If the Ball brothers ever ended up on the same NBA team, the off-court chaos might be just as entertaining as the games. From reviving their hit reality show Ball and the Family to running TikTok and Instagram with behind-the-scenes clips, trick shot contests, the content would be non-stop. These guys grew up in the spotlight and know how to turn their lives into entertainment. And with all 3 under one roof, the internet would be eating it up. And of course, LeVar Ball would be front and center, making bold proclamations and stealing press conferences in a Triple B hat. Love him or not, his media circus would draw serious attention. So could the Ball brothers actually form an NBA super team? It's a long shot, but man, the upside is wild. Not just for wins, but for the show. Fast breaks, viral moments, and a family chasing greatness together. Not to mention the money. They wouldn't need a championship to own the spotlight. Just one team bold enough to take the shot.